So for this example, we want to solve the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle P equals 2L plus 2W for L. So with this scenario, instead of trying to find some value in terms of given amounts, we're pushing around the pieces so we get an isolated form for a specific value in a formula. In this case, this would be able to tell us the length needed to fit a certain perimeter where you know the width as well. Say, for example, if you know how much fencing you have, you know how wide your yard is, you want to know how long you can make it as well. In this case, with what we have, it really is the same sort of algebra. It's just, well, we want to be a bit more careful because everything is technically variables. In this case, we have P equals 2L plus, oh boy, I should cursive that just a little bit, plus 2W. I've been recording for too long. We want to solve for L. So we'll pull over the 2W, subtract from both sides. I'll be a little bit specific here with that because, again, these aren't actual numbers. It's a little bit pickier, probably a little bit less like what you're used to. 2L, and it also gives me a chance to rewrite those terribly written things from the first one. Here, even though they're W's, they still cancel in the same way. So we're left with P minus 2W is equal to 2L. L. Ugh. And then we divide by 2. And we divide by 2. Those 2's cancel. We're left with that on one side. I'm going to flip things over, skip a half step. We get L, the length, is equal to P minus 2W over 2. So as I said, if we need to know the length given a perimeter and width, this is the adjusted formula we would use, and we'll finish with one more example like this. So for our other example, we want to solve P equals C plus MC for C. So here, same flavor of thing, except because we got two C's, we need to factor and then divide. That is P equals C plus MC can become P is equal to C. If you factor out a C from a C, you get left with a 1. Factor out a C from MC, you get left with M. And then from there, what we want to do is take this and divide 1 plus M on both sides, where when we do that, just like before, just like always, those types of things will cancel, and I'm going to reorganize a little bit to get that C, as we want, is equal to P over 1 plus M. So exact same process, just, well, a little bit more care with one slightly different algebraic property of undoing the distributive property. Anyway, that's what we have for our first week. For next week, we're going to continue onward in Chapter 1. We're going to keep looking at this stuff, developing some more ideas with other equations and other processes we can work with here, but those are problems for people next week. Have a good one. I'll see you then.